From the deep, dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas, Tabitha, and Grebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report, the show where we don't just play the game, but we teach you how to play the game. I'm Nikodas.
I'm still Grebog. Unfortunately, no Tabitha this week. She had some. She had an operation that she's now recovering from, so not up to sitting and yakking with us. Unfortunately, she should hopefully be back next week. This is episode 150. Is it hot in here or is it Stovocore?
Actually, the way you said that, the inflection you put on that made that name perfect. Like, that was good.
So okay, this I guess here you go first. How has your week been? What have you been up to?
Honestly, not a lot. Trying to get this character ready for tonight's show took up a lot of my time. After the show last week that I wasn't here for, I realized this character wasn't even level 65 yet, let alone had the equipment and stuff for a build. So a lot of my week has been spent on here. A little bit I've spent on the Final Fantasy, the Pixel remasters that they just released on the Switch, and then the new Legend of Zelda game. That one too has taken up a lot of time, although I'm not nearly as crafty as some of the videos I've seen online. I am having fun with it, and I guess that's the important thing.
Yeah, that is definitely the important thing.
So really, that's my week in a nutshell. I don't have a lot to report. I've been doing those three things primarily for fun, and then the great majority of the rest of my week has just been my three jobs keeping me busy. What about you, Grebog? How has your week been?
You're up to 3 jobs now?
2 are volunteer positions that I don't get paid for, but I am leadership in both of those positions, so it still takes up a lot of my time. I'm the training coordinator for the church security team now, and I've actually been part of the Key 3 for our local Boy Scout troop for quite a while now.
Cool. Let's see, my week. Since you started it, let's see. I don't know. I've been so busy, I don't know what's going on. That, and also it doesn't help that the last couple days I've been, like yesterday, I started feeling off on I guess probably Tuesday night, and then I just knew that night things were gonna get weird or not better. Which is unfortunately why I opted to sit out your games, because I knew I would need the rest, which I was asleep probably when you were gaming today. I hope that went well.
It did. They've ruined my boss fight, but that's fine.
Isn't that the goal of play? Or I mean, that maybe not goal. Isn't that just what happens with players?
Sometimes, yes.
Here's the big bad, and they're dead.
Well, it's not that they're killing him real fast. It's okay, so one of the characters has a pet, and the pet has a reaction that imposes disadvantage on 1 attack per round. But they're only level 3, and my boss only has 2 attacks per round. So literally I'm missing half of his attacks because of this one reaction, and I'm like, I have no way to work around it.
Reminds me of, oh, this person has the highest armor class and they're blocking the path of the boss to everyone else, so they can only really attack one person. So that means I can't hit anybody. It's fine. The struggles of DMing.
Yeah, no kidding. But other than that, it went fine, and the players are having fun, and that's the important thing. So.
Let's see. Outside of that, still play WoW. Got into some Mythic Pluses. Actually, I got my tier helm out of the vault for doing Mythic Pluses. This, for those that don't know, if you do X amount of content of the current tier in the game, then you unlock slots in a vault that will have loot that you can pick from. The more stuff you do, the more options you get to pick from, but you only get one piece of loot. So, but yeah, so I got my tier helm at a much higher eye level than I would be able to get because it came from Mythic Plus stuff. That was kind of cool. Let's see. Raid's doing well. We're on the final boss in normal. We're struggling a bit because I think there's some confusions on mechanics. We I think should have it this Friday. I don't see why not. Outside of that, STO wise, I've been busy. I've been doing stuff and things. I've been building builds, slapping ships together. Yeah, like I slapped this ship together. Been doing the daily, though I did not do the daily yesterday because I just didn't feel like I could sit here and play, you know. But yeah, I've been having fun with STO. I'm excited at the potential new content. I'm also excited about the Strange New Worlds teaser that they released for the season. So if you have not gone out and seen the Strange New Worlds teaser that they put out for the season, I recommend you go find it. It is worth the watch, and yeah. All right.
It's been, I've seen it like 3 or 4 times on TikTok.
I'm glad they did. So I guess spoiler, if you don't want to know, don't. I don't. If you didn't know, they're doing a crossover with Lower Decks, and I'm glad they picked. They're using, so it's Mariner and Boimler that is coming across into Strange New Worlds, and they are using the people that do the voice acting for those parts as their actual characters, and I am glad to see that they chose that option, because there was rumors that they were not. So, but yeah. Anyway, on to STO news. So there is a bonus weekend coming up. It just technically started today and is going to the 29th. It is bonus experience weekend. So all experience points and expertise rewards have been doubled for the weekend. You need to level somebody. Now's the time to do it.
Yeah, and it really is noticeable, like by crazy amounts. Looming Threats event is still ongoing. It ends June 8th. It requires 40 daily progress points to get the rewards. I'm not sure. Do we have enough days left? I don't think we have enough days left to get the full amount. No. But even if you haven't started it, each day that you do complete gets you a discount on the buyout if you choose to do the buyout. So there's still reason to do the daily or do the event now if you haven't started it, and it's not a terrible event. The reward is a crystal Harmonics Space Set, which is based on Tetryons. It's got an Omni-Directional beam, a either warp or singularity core, and a shield. The shield actually, when the shield facing gets low, it gives you a second ring of shields on a temporary basis. Actually sounds really cool. I'm very curious to see how that works. There is a console that goes along with it as well that boosts Tetryon damage, but you have to run the episode for that, not from the event itself.
And the Mud Market, it should be in the store now. Yep, there it is. First thing that popped up. Mud's As Seen on TNG choice pack is now there. Regular price is 29,500 Zen. From now until the 8th of June, it will be 50% off, which is 14,750, or essentially like just under 150 bucks. Technically, it'd be like $147.50 roughly, plus minus charge bonuses and all that. So in this bundle, as you can see, you get 3 ships, And the one that I think many people might want, because I've seen a lot of people wanting it, which is the Liberated Borg Command Juggernaut. That was one that a lot of people have been wanting. Sona Collecta. I can't talk. I can't even say a normal word. See, I can say Sona, but I couldn't say collector. Science Dreadnought. That is another one. And then the Husnock Warship. So you get those 3 ships as options, though technically there is a mega bundle for even more, which the regular price on the written mega bundle is $500. Holy, 50,000 Zen. Right now 25,000 Zen, half off. But essentially you get the choice between those 3 ships, or there are 2 tier 6 ship tokens, or 1 epic Phoenix prize token, or 10 ultimate tech upgrades, or 300 Lobby. Best money for your dollar is always picking the ships. Just saying. Yeah.
I've heard some people saying that the Husnock Warship is really the only one in the bundle that's worth it. Take it as you will. I'm gonna pass on this one, but that's me.
I'm intrigued by the Husnock Warship and the Borg ship, but I it's $150.
Yep, it is, and I'm giving it a hard pass. Let's see what else we got. Oh, so they released a patch today, and included in this patch is 2 things of note. The first one is that 3D ship previews are now in the store. I wonder if that includes.
It's available. It's all ships.
So you can right here. I've got the Science Warship pulled up, so you can now rotate this and look at the ship from any angle you want instead of just having the still pictures. Now you get the whole thing.
Yeah, and I've grabbed the Hestia here, and people can watch me. I'm spinning it. I love it. I love that they put this in. This is a feature that I didn't know I wanted. Yeah.
You don't get the bundles. It doesn't show the bundles.
You'll have to select the individual ships. I'm pretty sure that's the only way it's going to work.
But yeah, you can.
Oh no!
It's actually a really
no.
Feature.
Here, which bundle is this? I'm in. Oh, this is a legendary bundle. If you go, let's see if all the other. Yes, look at the bundles. If you look at the bottom underneath, how there are the. It looks like gradient. Like on the sides, there's 2 measurement markers. If you click on one of those, that is where you can grab the ships and spin them.
Okay, wait a minute.
I'm in the 13th anniversary bundle, and I am spinning the Terran Monitor Miracle Worker Carrier right now.
Where did you pull it up at?
Go into the ship bundles, and if you look underneath, you know how like there's always the extra pictures of what the ships are.
Okay, yeah, the Muds bundles don't have it.
That is probably I don't know that they've ever put individual ship bundle or ship images with their bundles. Now that is the next thing that they should do.
But I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I got it. That's cool. All right, so anyway, that's the first feature, which is really cool. And you're supposed to be able to use that to look at the different variants and like just know what ship you're trying to purchase. So right here, this would let you switch, to what you're looking at.
I did not know there were so many Ryzian Corvette variants.
And then the other thing worth note is they resolved an issue with the adapted Honor Guard personal armor rep projects having the wrong armor style unlock. So apparently when you were buying those, it was unlocking the wrong image, and that has now been fixed.
The rest of that fix is cool too.
Do what?
Did
Style 3 projects?
So okay, there used to be only one way to get the Style 3 Honor Guard stuff. You had to complete all original 6 Borg Task Force operations on Elite to be able to get the Mako, the Klingon Honor Guard, or the Omega Style 3 sets. You no longer are required to do those on Elite anymore. You just have to unlock the Style 2 and you're good. You get the Style 3 free.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So it's the alternate look. Okay.
They talked about that in the 10 forward this week, and when they said that, I'm like, all right, I love this change. I mean, they didn't have to do that. They could have left it where you do Elite. So that way it was a, you know, hey, look at me. I've done these 6 on Elite. But they opted to just give everybody. Well, if you do the rep projects.
Cool.
All right. And the last thing on the news is they're doing a Zen charge bonus and a ship sale. You can already see here the ship sales already in place. Started May 25th, goes to the 29th. 20% off all the ships, ship slots, dry dock slots, ship upgrade tokens. Yeah, if it has to do with a ship, it's probably on sale. And but it's only 20% off. Though the charge bonus, you get 25% more Zen on a purchase of Zen. And this sale goes from the 25th, so it started, and goes to the 27th. So if you have been saving your money to buy Zen, now would be the time to buy it. Yeah. They do the Zen charge bonus off and on, so don't feel like you have to do it now. You could always pick another sale.
Okay, and that's going to do it for our announcements. And that was quite a bit to get through. So we decided that we were going to do a segment to celebrate some of the lesser known races in the game. And we originally were going to do this with the Alachi. We started with, a couple weeks ago, we did the Breen. And then our next one was going to be the Alachi, but we switched kind of at the last minute because we wanted to do some stuff on the KDF side. So we decided to do the Fek'Ihri. And it is Fek'Ihri, not Fek'Ihri. I had to do some research on that. So it is an I. And nobody seems to know why the I is capitalized, why it's Fek'Ihri. But it's the way it was in the show notes.
It's much why everything after an apostrophe in like Stovokor is capitalized. That is
I guess
the way
it follows
it's done.
Klingon things. Anyway, so I did not make this character new. This character was an alien, and her normal form is a Lucari. But just because I got into it, and I made her look as much as I could like a Fek'Ihri, one of the Fek'Ihri females. And I actually think this turned out pretty cool. So I've got the spikes on her head and on her chin. Put her in a somewhat revealing outfit because they all dress that way. And yeah, here you go. Oh, and even so, she's got a sidearm, but primarily I've been having her fight hand to hand. So she's using, her claws and whatnot, which is kind of cool.
I think that's the one thing I forgot about this whole thought process of doing what they look like on the ground.
I originally, this was not going to be part of the show. I didn't intend to do this. It's just something I saw a post about it online that somebody else had done it. And I was like, I want to see what I can come up with. But I actually think this turned out pretty good. Like, she looks pretty creepy. Of course, I've got her in the creature pose too, which isn't necessary. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. Anyway, we primarily want to talk about the ships. So let me leave the interior here, and we'll get into the ship thing. And we're going to run some stuff. This isn't just going to be like a deep dive with us talking. We're going to go blow some stuff up. And I was going to run the Fek'Ihri episodes, but I realized that I'm on a Romulan character and I do not have access to the Fek'Ihri episode, so we'll probably run some randos and try to get some fleet marks, since that's what we need to do right now. Unless Grebog has another suggestion, of course.
That's fine by me.
Okay. So the ship I'm in is the Gok-Tad Carrier. This is a Tier 6 ship. It was an event reward. It is now available in Mud's Market, if you're interested. I went with, for my cannon build, I went with cannons. And primarily, I've got one set of dual heavies, just because I had them in my bank for some reason. Primarily, though, I went with cannons. So these are like just the standard single cannons that nobody ever uses in this game. But I went with cannons, and then on the back, I've got 3 turrets. So up front, I've got one set of dual heavies, and then just 3 regular cannons. These are roughly equivalent to beam banks as far as damage goes. The damage potential slightly higher, and their targeting arc is slightly less. But ultimately, I think it balances itself out. And then, of course, the turrets are 360 degree. Clearly, as you're looking at this, I've got some empty spaces. Clearly, this is not a meta build just yet. It is a work in progress. I will switch over to the meta stuff as soon as this character has, the reputations up. She just hit 65 today, so my reputations are going, but it's a slow process. I'm not using any torpedoes on this build. They're just all cannons and turrets. I talked about the meta. Oh, and for the build, I went with a scatter volley build. Pretty standard. I'm not using any specialty seeding. I've got the usual stuff that I use. EPTW, reverse shield polarity, directed energy, just the stuff. The only thing unusual that I threw on here was gravity well, just because I could. But I still have the photonic officer, science team, emitters, polarized hull, the normal stuff, chemosite laced weaponry, the normal stuff I use. Trait wise, same thing. This is kind of a work in progress. Just anything you have to increase your your damage potential, your crits. Starship traits, same thing. Use what you've got unlocked and just make a build. A lot of this stuff isn't going to be affected by what we're talking about. It was just the canon stuff we wanted to do, so I'm using all anti-proton for that fiery look. I kept the Lost Souls of Gre'Thor on here. Again, they do fire damage, or in their case, actually, they do some melee damage. Console-wise, I've got a bunch of stuff down here that either increases all damage or increases anti-proton damage. Again, pretty standard stuff. And I'm going to... Grebog is in a different ship, so I'm going to let him talk, over his stuff, and then we'll move on to blowing some stuff up. And Grebog, you said you missed something?
Yeah, I was noticing that because you said about the being in the Mud's Market. I went to show the ship in the Mud's Market and noticed all individual items in the Mud's Market are 75% off. Apparently, that sale goes to the 29th. I did not realize that they put it in the last sentence on the announcement for the new Mud bundle. So I'm like going, apparently I overlooked the last sentence in the entire thing. So yeah, 75% off. If you're going to buy something for the Muds bundle, now would be the time to do it. Or, well, not but if you're going to buy any of the Muds items that are individual, 75% off is the best sale you're going to get from it. So it makes some things more in the right price range, in my opinion, for buying. But, yeah. All right. So for my ship, yes, I am in the Irja Interceptor. Sure. I didn't know what torpedoes they use, so I just tossed on one for a set bonus. I doubt they use the dark matter quantum type torpedoes. That purple color is not what I would think for them. I would imagine it probably is more of a red But I went and grabbed the Baul dual beam banks for the front here, along with the Rep Advanced Thoron infused anti-proton. This one comes from Delta Alliance, so, and it's part of a set. Though I'm not using any of the rest of the set, so I grabbed it because it has a nice color to it as well, and gives an option if you wanted to go with the set. You could grab more of it to put in. On the rear, I have an ancient omnidirectional beam array. This, where does it come from? The ancient. It's from a mission.
The Step Between Stars, I believe.
Sounds right. But
I'm sorry, Sphere of Influence. It's
yeah,
the
Sphere
first,
of Influence.
It's the first one in the Dyson Sphere.
So it too has a very nice. It's an anti-proton beam, even though it doesn't say it until further down. It is red, which is why I went with it. Then I have just a standard crafted anti-proton on the rear here with it. I did have, until I picked this up quick, the kinetic cutting beam, because it too is red, though not necessarily, since it does kinetic damage, it's not exactly the right damage type. Yeah. For consoles, probably a lot of the same ones. The temporal anomaly projector, because it has anti-proton damage built into it. It also has radiation damage in it, which could be good, because I know there are some other different. There's some different builds that work with anti-proton that also have some radiation damage in. I have the Voth phase decoy, another anti-proton damage, and it gives you more hull capacity, so it makes you a little more survivable. Enhanced induction coils. That's just a decent all-around damage booster console. The Domino also, obviously it does phaser damage, or increases phaser damage, but the use again is an all-around good DPS booster. Approaching Agony, again, just a decent DPS booster console. I have the Alliance Tactics console, which is another 17.1% anti-proton. I think a lot of these I picked up off of the exchange, because I think a lot of them come out of lockboxes. And the benefit that they being anti-proton focus means that they don't cost much, because I was finding them under $1 million, some of these. So not a lot of people want to go anti-proton, so it's fine. I did put the immolating phaser lance on here, but that's because I have a problem with the wanting it on all my ships. It is red.
I've got no arguments.
I have Lorca's console on here for the 2-piece, and it's a good also damage booster console. And then obviously I filled out with anti-proton mags, so that way I can get more anti-proton damage.
Yeah, I'll get those as soon as I get the opportunity here.
Yeah, I was like, that's why I'm like trying to push the Spire up for the fleet a little bit, so that way we can start unlocking. Oh, hey, I'll have to worry about that after the show. But yeah, that is my ship. Overall, it's a beam overload setup. It is. I don't have the trait that increases the beam overload duration. That's because it comes off of a low B ship, and I don't have a low that. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy that for all my captains. So, you know. But for the most part, I do run. It's my standard kind of setup for a beam overload. You know, chemosite laced weaponry 1, an attack pattern beta 1. I don't know that the Omega 3 is the best trait or skill here, but that's what I went with. And then I have Beam Overload 3, Torpedo Spread 2, and Tactical Team. And then obviously on this, going with the Emergency Power to Engines 1, and also Emergency Power to Weapons 3. I don't know that this guy technically has the right duty officers. He will have the right duty officers eventually. Oh yeah, I haven't even signed any duty officers up for space duty. I'm so bad. Oh here, recharge evasive maneuvers when emergency power to engine. You're going on active duty, buddy.
I need that one. I need that pilot.
Con officer. Con officers, where you find it. Oh hey, here, stacking crit chance buff when firing energy weapons. That's
See,
also a good one to have.
You've got the right ones. You just didn't have them equipped.
Yeah, well. And I even had a purple one of that, so that's
Nice.
well, that's why I'm like going, wow. Let's see. So if that's chance, I need crit severity if I have it. But anyway, we can do stuff.
Okay, I'll queue us up. We'll do some randoms and try to get some fleet marks. I am just going to run this on normal because I'm not ready for advanced on this character.
Sure.
Not
Here,
yet.
Let
anyway.
me go back to the side by side so people can see both our screens more easily.
Give me a week or two and this character will be ready.
Yeah, I think I will do okay. But you know.
Well, you at least have the meta like shields and stuff equipped. I don't. Not yet.
Oh, I don't have the meta deflector. I'm still using the counter command deflector.
Because we don't have the colony yet.
Yeah. It's fine. It'll get yeah, we'll get it eventually. Apparently I have a bunch of chance to reduce recharge time to evasive maneuvers for in green quality.
Suppose you could equip more than one.
I don't know that it stacks. Chance for beam overload to cause all attacks against the target to gain. There we go. You're going. Oh, I think that was one of the bridge officers or duty officers I used on my one build that you were like, where'd my shields go?
Yeah, the one where you just ignore shields. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our intelligence services have discovered an
Because there's a bridge officer who will give you extra shield pen.
This is the Romulan minefield, man. I haven't been in here in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not using Ox to bat, so I don't need you.
And here we go.
As my ship turns into a giant fireball as we shoot forward. For those that don't know, that's standard for Fek'Ihri ships.
Mine just spits out lots of fire
next to the transports.
when you go full
Keep an
impulse.
eye out.
Same.
Oh, the ramming thing is interesting. So where is it? Right here? Nope. I've got one fiery charge that deals over 4,000 fire damage to somebody I ram. The visual on that's actually pretty cool.
Excellent work against those frigates. Just a few more to go.
Yeah, I don't have. I need that cooldown on here. That would really help get around this battlefield. Especially in this big ship. And there goes all my cannons firing off. I love it. Nobody uses cannons in this game.
All the cannons.
I mean, they all use dual cannons or dual heavy cannons. Nobody uses just regular cannons anymore. Oh, here we go. Some enemies we missed down below us.
I went to a whole nother asteroid.
Man, I will tell you, I don't know like what the meta is as far as pets go. But these, I don't know what these ghosts are actually pretty deadly. They either go punch ships or they go, and there they are floating around, or they do these big bursts of fire that are fun to see. Let's see if my guys, I'll set them to intercept and see if they'll take out the mines for me.
See, I have the bowl beams on the front. So like I'm taking out some of these in yeah, just by the bowl beams bouncing to other stuff.
Oh, you've got this one. I didn't realize you were here with me. All right, I'll go over to beta.
Well, since it takes more than one thing to repair, I figured, you know, having multiple people here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it took more
It's
than one.
fine. It's just like,
Facility Alpha is back online.
I still beat y'all.
You're just that good. There we go.
Facility Beta is safe.
Okay, so we just need to get Gamma here. All right, I'll actually help this time since, you know, now I know. There, I just did that ram. Mogay's sitting over there by himself. He's about to get overwhelmed. See, if I would pay attention to this stuff, it says right over here that it takes 3.
So yes, phase one we cleared freighters.
Like
Let them get out of here. Then phase 2 we repaired facilities.
Yep, and now we take on the boss. Oh, and apparently some turrets.
And fighters.
Was that you with the giant beam?
Probably.
Look at all my cannons firing. I love it. I did this same build with the Tier 5 Fek'Ihri ship that came out way back when. I did a cannon build. But it didn't work real well. But that was back before I actually knew how to do builds.
Don't mind the time tsunami.
Excellent. The area is secure.
That's
Hey,
one of my
look,
consoles.
level.
I've seen there are a lot of anti-proton science like control builds because there is some overlap with anti-proton and some of the control stuff. And some of those consoles that I even have equipped have boosts to control. But
yeah, that's certainly something you can do. Or the base anti-proton weapons have an increased crit,
So it's entirely possible to do a very effective crit build with it.
Yeah. There's all kinds of things you can do.
That used to be the meta way back in the day. Like, everybody ran anti-proton. Nowadays, you tend to see more phaser or disruptor builds. But you can still, be very effective by building the old way.
Well, that's because in the old day, they fixed essentially beam arrays. Well, actually, all the weapons, because energy weapons at 2.5% chance was, I think, it was worked differently than it does now.
Listen up.
Oh, this will be fun. Put my little ghost dudes on attack for this one. Yeah, they did a rework on that somehow. Although most people still say that it's not, like, the 2.5% isn't really worth it. That's why a lot of the meta things that people look for have either two effects or a static effect that isn't based on a chance.
Yeah.
Or the occasional, some of the newer beam arrays have a 5% versus the 2.5. And those aren't half bad either. But like the anti-proton beams, the original anti-proton beams, just have a static crit increase or crit chance increase. Oh, this is somewhat appropriate. I'm a Fek'Ihri fighting Klingons.
Sending them to Stolokor.
No, Gre'Thor.
Oh, Gre'Thor.
Send them to my master.
I put the wrong. I screwed up the title of the show. Then it should have been Gre'Thor. Is it hot in here, or is it Gre'Thor?
I didn't even catch that. You're right. I didn't even catch that.
What happens when you're too busy to stop and think, and
Still makes sense though. Hot or not. Is it hot in here or not?
I'll probably change it before I put it onto YouTube because it makes more sense that way.
Oh, we lost a guy. Wow, the legendary scimitar didn't survive.
I find that interesting.
Yeah, me too.
Might be a newer player. Doesn't have all the gear yet. Or doesn't have all the gear upgraded. Either way.
That's true. Could be a lot of reasons, but even the best players will blow up occasionally because you're not paying attention or whatever.
Get overwhelmed.
I just don't quite see that ship get overwhelmed all that often. It's interesting. That's a really good ship. If you're looking at a legendary ship, the legendary Romulan bundle with the scimitar and the Dideridex is not a terrible option. Both of those ships are pretty good ships. Although I'll warn you, the turn rate on the Dideridex is awful.
Well, did you ever see them turning rapidly in the shows?
No, not at all. Usually, as a matter of fact, they stayed pretty much still and just shot things.
And then disappeared.
also very true. You know, the Romulans and those cloaking devices.
An evacuation ship is launching.
Oh, I
Give
do
them
love the
cover.
Daredix, though. That design, something about that ship has always just kind of called to me.
I still have my Star Trek playing cards. Or not, well, I guess they're not really. Collectible card game cards.
Oh, that's old.
This is Andor. Our shields are
Yeah.
taking hits, and we could use it.
Not sure what to do with them. Not like I have anyone to play with.
Andor here. We've taken heavy fire. Request assistance.
Sadly, neither do I. Nobody around here really plays card games anymore.
I even have my Star Wars collectible card game cards. And then there's the Versus.
I still have my Versus. Actually, Versus has been reprinted, but they kind of changed the way you figure out who wins. Now you have like a deck master rather than
An evacuation ship
rather
is
than it
launching.
being the
Give them
player's
cover.
life. You actually have a card that is the deck master or whatever. So they changed the way that game plays, but they did make a comeback. They also introduced some new. So it used to be like just Marvel and
Klingons are
DC
regrouping
characters.
again.
Yeah.
Now
Into
they've
position
branched
to
out a
prepare
little
for the
bit. Like you
next
can
assault.
get aliens in there. Did we? Oh, we got another wave coming in. Okay.
Here
We
come the
killed
Klingon
them too
battleship.
fast.
Keep fighting.
That's what
Okay.
happened.
What happened? They all stopped showing up.
When we annihilate the enemy faster than they the timer allots.
Hellboy is another one that they've done now with Versus.
Cool. As people in the
Lafayette here.
any viewers are just like nerds. Oh wait.
I prefer the term geek. I mean, that's a thing now, right? Like we
An
can all
evacuation ship is
identify
launching.
how we
Give them
want. So
cover.
I prefer the term geek.
I'm fine with nerd. Call me what you want. I don't care. It's not going to change who I am.
Enemy ships. This is the Roosevelt. We could use a little help.
You know, it's funny
Engines
in
and shields
this
are failing.
current string of things, the way that all this stuff is viewed has really changed since I was younger. I'm going to show my age a little bit here.
Wait.
Star Trek, Star Wars, even D&D is kind of mainstream now.
I just learned something about this TFO. You can apparently send them power to aid them.
The lean ships.
Yeah. Because I just did.
Interesting.
I don't remember that being a thing.
Did it make them go faster?
He started moving faster, yeah.
Huh.
Now has the longer lines behind them saying
So you
maybe
can-
it's a normal thing.
You can light a fire under their rear end.
Yeah.
Move faster.
I mean that's fitting to be in Fek'Ihri ships to light a fire under their butt and get them moving.
True. There we go.
That'll hold them
Cheers.
off for now.
Get some more fleet marks. And head out. All right, so I got a question for you, partner.
Next week?
Yeah, since we've done, you and Tabby did Tetryon. Would you like to revisit Disruptors next week?
Sure.
Kind of detail how to get disruptor equipment and stuff.
Sure. We can do that. I have a disruptor build somewhere. Might even be one on this tune.
Probably so. You seem to put everything on his Seek these days.
I do enjoy playing him. I have questioned whether or not I wanted to. I have the struggle of, if I want to be meta, I should make an alien tactical bridge off or captain, and that should be my main captain.
Yeah,
because
but if you really truly want to be meta, then they need to be of the Romulan faction.
Well, there's that too, and I don't know. I don't know how much I care about that. Simon has pretty much become my main on the other side. Not that that's a problem. I mean, he's a science captain, but I do well even still as science. So,
I put down this whole secondary target and completely forgot to mention it.
Secondary target. We're just not going to talk about it. Oh, the history.
That's funny. Yeah. So, well, and I was going to say to run an episode, but here, let me fix that because we did TFOs. So I'll put that down. Yeah, I was going to talk about the history of the Fek'Ihri, but there really isn't any. I mean, in canon, they've been mentioned a couple times, but they were never shown, and it never really got into the depth. It was just they were an enemy of Kahless, the Unforgotten, the original Kahless, and that's that. Now in STO, obviously we have a lot more history, but that's creative freedom that the devs took and ran with.
Well, and technically in STO we have two variants of Fek'Ihri, so
we do, and I'm very confused by that and the fact that they all look alike.
Because so spoilers, I guess, if you haven't ran a bunch of the missions, but in one section with the Gamma Arc, we learned that the Fek'Ihri are the ones running around in the world for the most part are from the Founders, the Changelings. They, in their attempt to try to create a subjugated Klingon variant race, created Fek'Ihri.
Yeah, but it says the thing that confuses me is it says in there that they were based off of Klingon legends. So, the Founders come in, they're like, oh, the Klingons are pretty cool. We kind of like these guys. Look, they have demons in their mythology. Let's make the demons real. And that's what they do. So I get that. But the times that you as the player actually go into Gre'Thor, the Fek'Ihri that are there look identical to the ones that the Founders make. And yeah. I don't understand why they look identical, other than it's a video game and they didn't want to create new models.
The video game, these are the assets we have. We're going to roll with it.
Yeah, but now that they've done that, and you get to this argument about, yes, I realize this is a video game. Yes, I realize none of this is real, but it's fun to sit here and think about these things, right? So what logical reasons could there be for both the actual mythological demons and the ones that the Founders created could be the same, could look the same?
So one way you could write it is that so Fek'Ihri, the ones that are in Gre'Thor, were there. The stories about them were so accurate on what they looked like that when the Changelings came along and made what they thought a new race, based off of a story, then ended up basically creating another, just a different variant that looks the same. And who's to know? Like, I don't know how long we know whether or not when the founders did all of this. I mean, I can't remember if they gave us a time frame, because clearly it's before the Jem'Hadar. So it was before they created the Jem'Hadar, which means.
But I believe it was after the Herc.
Yes, I think so. Because to me, the Herc were what, 10,000 years ago ish.
I would have to look. I'm not entirely sure. I know the Herc. So, like, the original Fek'Ihri are mythological figures. They could be from, like the start of the Klingon species, for all we know. But at some point in time, the Herc attacked them, and that was an enemy that Kahless also fought. So Kahless fought the Herc, and Kahless fought the Fek'Ihri. And Kahless existed about 1,500 years before the current timeline of Star Trek. So,
okay, well,
kind of do the math. I mean, I don't know, and that may not. So the other part of that is, so we know Kahless fought the Herc, but that may not have been the first time the Herc attacked the Klingons. So,
well, even if it was 1,500 years, that would be enough time to set into stone the story. Like, do we know that? Well, so the stories about the Fek'Ihri could have existed well beyond that time. There may not have been Fek'Ihri in Gre'Thor per se. They were just fairy tales. And then once the founders made their variants, they used their... It also gave them access to the Gre'Thor realm. It also, they took the story to heart as their being. And...
Well, here, if we're going to talk, I'll do one more. We can run one more while we're talking.
Because, I mean, there's...
Wee-woo.
There's all kinds of potential there,
Well, I mean, sure, a good writer is going to be able to explain anything away, right? Like, maybe the founders did create them first, but then the demon Fek'Ihri himself kind of, adopted them. Maybe that what the founders did, but then you get the whole thing where they were based on Klingon legends. So I don't know. The other thing is maybe Fek'Ihri himself spoke to the founders, or maybe the founders had a vision where they went to Gre'Thor and spoke with him there, and then got out and said, "Hey, now we know how to do this." Like, there's enough time in there that we don't necessarily have all the facts about what happened. So, you can brainstorm it in a lot of different ways and come up with an answer, and they could all be right. And at least until the writers of either STO or some Star Trek show decide
For
to
those of you who don't know me,
make a story canon.
we need to act with one.
Oh, we're going to do ground. That's interesting. I wasn't
Forged
expecting
in fire.
Well, now that's interesting. Yeah, forged in fire. Not a bad one to do, but...
Nah. A lot of fire in this one.
We're going to be fighting the Herc, aren't we? Oh, no, this is Terrans, isn't it?
Terrans, I believe. Isn't it where we go up against, what? The power race infused Achille? Or no. Lita.
Yes, Lita. That is correct. So anyway, back to our story here. I find it really interesting that that's the direction that STO took it in. That they wanted to take this little snippet about these legendary creatures and then bring them to life and then tie them into the Dominion. And then do the same thing with the Herc. Oh, right. This is that thing where we're supposed to be looking for people.
Yes, we've saved a few people already.
Once the room is clear,
That looks like one. We've
Oh, I got
saved
one. Was there not one in here? There's normally one in here. No, there's not one in here. Alrighty.
All right, so what about over here? We'll look in this one. Nope. Moving right along then. We'll have to look extra hard in the next area. Okay. They've done that a lot, though. Like, a lot of the enemies and stuff that we've ended up fighting has been just little snippets or one and done.
See, I'm hoping we'll get more Tholian. Now that we're delving into a Tholian style, you know. Yeah.
So you mean in STO, or
Yes.
you mean in?
So I would also love more Tholian lore in regular Star Trek.
We got a fair bit of Tholians in Enterprise, but yeah, I would not be opposed to another story with Tholians.
All right, we can't hop over the darn.
Hostiles neutralized. Returning to work on Gamma.
I'm still looking for people to rescue, but
Yeah,
man, the
so is
enemies are-
everybody. Apparently, we're all looking for the same people. Because there was just a third person that just ran up.
I don't see anybody.
Check
up
the
here.
upper area.
I think we've got everybody. Honestly.
Returning to work on Gamma.
I need backup at Console Alpha.
Wow, like these guys
Console
are
Alpha
on it.
secure. Back to work. Alpha complete. Moving to beta.
I got one more
Backup
corner
request.
to check.
Console Gamma.
Or double check, I guess, because it looks like I said, these guys are on it.
Hostiles neutralized.
Yeah, there's nobody
Returning to
left to
work on
rescue.
Gamma.
Okay.
Taking fire at Console Beta.
We have grabbed.
Returning to work. Console
Where is
Beta.
it? We've gotten 5 of 20.
Back to work on Console Gamma.
I got this area, I guess. I'm over at Beta.
So am I.
Oh, so are you.
Gamma complete.
I'm the pink cat.
Delta.
I'm glad that when they redid this, we don't have to do that stupid hallway anymore, where we have to like match up or go in the right order for the consoles.
Yeah.
That's one that I'm very glad is gone.
It wouldn't be as bad as if they gave you the color sequence somehow, so that way you knew which way to go versus.
Console Delta.
Okay, I just did white, red. Oh, nope. It's white, blue. Oh, nope. White, you know. Whatever the cut, you know. Just.
Beta
Okay,
complete.
Delta
Holding position.
is the last one. That tactical officer threw that grenade right at their own feet.
Hey. It was tactically sound.
Okay, here's Delta. I mean, I guess, obviously, again, you know, video game logic. I didn't even take any damage from it, but it just seemed weird. Here, let me throw this grenade at my feet so it hurts all my enemies.
Enhancing console
Console Delta.
Oh, hey, there's my feature probes. Those are nice.
Console Delta is secure. Returning to work there.
Good timing on that.
Computers and keep them from blocking you or leaving you
Okay, and we've got our 5 guys.
neutralize the remaining Terrans to secure the cargo bay.
Getting back out of here. So we can go see if Kurland is here. Oh, we actually have to defeat the Terrans.
Yes.
We can't just leave?
Security fields are down. I'm disrupting transporter operations.
We have to clear out the Terrans before we can move on.
The good news is that the security fields are down.
I guess that makes sense.
The bad
I
news?
just wanted to move on.
You need to fight your way to ore processing.
Okay, well.
I
start
don't.
opening
Yeah,
doors.
it's like I doubt they. Go. See here.
Hey, I actually rescued somebody.
As we're both just running around checking doors.
Found another one.
Found an empty room.
Yeah, I saw one of those too.
Almost there. Cover your corners and watch the upper deck for snipers.
Nothing down here.
I think we're missing 3.
See here. We run in the same room.
Think
It's
that's the last of them.
fine.
Wait. There's one more moving in on your position, and fast.
Uh-oh. Is Curlin here?
You beat me to it. Okay, I think I found the last one. Now there might be.
All right,
Normally,
once you leave the
normally you
turbo
find 10 in
Wait,
the last area.
Why are
but
you still on the promenade?
I'm gonna go ahead and check these last couple of areas just in case. Got paralyzed. He's standing in my Legion probes.
Damn, you're in a tight spot. That guy's tough.
There we
Is
go.
Is Kurland there? You're alive. Good. Head to ore processing. I have a plan, but we need to move fast.
And here we go.
I'm charging up the flux arc disassembler.
This
Give
is
me
something too.
20
So,
seconds.
like, we went through this really long
I
arc
admire
with
your
all
efforts,
of
but
the
you're wasting
Terrans,
your
right?
I
Yeah.
am
But the last thing
invincible!
we see is Lita, who may or may not still have, you know, connections with the
Stupid.
PA rates,
But brave.
flying up to
Charging
a
up
Borg
the
cube
disassembler for another
from
pulse.
the mirror universe.
Ah, nice try, but you're done here. It's time for you to die.
I'm not seeing.
And we've got a full charge. Hit that console to release the pulse and
Oh, here's
bring
one.
in Lita.
Oh, you are
Come on,
paid
let me
back.
rescue.
She's vulnerable. Hit her now.
That.
They're
That
pushing it
actually hurts.
forward.
What did you do?
Make sure we get everybody.
I
I got one that was
power
tied up over
beyond
here.
your worst nightmare.
Did we miss one?
I don't know. I only saw one.
I think we're good.
I went ahead and went upstairs
Capacitor at maximum.
because it's not
Hit
like
that
you
console to make
need
Lita
me down
vulnerable.
there to push her, and so I
Right.
started rescuing people upstairs.
Well, we're only missing 2 right now.
Now we're down to 1, which I think you got the last one.
I think I got her. Yep. Okay.
Why do you do this when
Now
you
we can focus
know
on
I will
Lita.
kill you for it?
Got those probes placed right on top of her. That was pretty cool.
The power of the paw
Oh, look, she's up here now.
inside me.
Yep.
You really are a nuisance. Enjoy your fiery death.
You need to get up the stairs now. She's going to light it up.
Suffer the wrath of a vengeful goddess. Impressive.
It's unfortunate they didn't get the pay to get the rights for that one song, and like when it's, he's gonna light it up and have the song start.
The disassembler is charged. Get to that console to
Yeah,
discharge.
that would have been pretty cool.
I will return that hurt 1,000-fold.
Not this console.
She should be vulnerable. I think I hit it already.
Oh, I was at the wrong console then.
She's gonna, yep, she just teleported.
Out of existence.
I've been having a graphics bug, and it makes it look like my Shaxx cannon is constantly firing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Not that it is, it just looks like it.
The disassembler is charged. Get to that console to discharge it.
Oh, she got him. Okay.
Someone's got it.
Do they? Are
Yeah.
they the right one? Okay. Run back upstairs then.
You are going to pay for that. This was amusing
Already.
for a while, but now I'm bored. Die.
Get up the stairs. She's about to go supernova.
Oh dear. Is it me or is it getting hot? Well, it's definitely.
I guess this fits the theme. She even said it. Is it me or is it hot in
The
here?
disassembler is charged. Get to that console to discharge it.
It's her. It's definitely her.
Pale in comparison to what I'm going to do to you.
No, I'm at the wrong console.
I hit one, so should be vulnerable.
There's only room for one at the top. Me!
Oh, come on, Lita. She's at a sliver of life. Like one good hit.
The disassembler is charged. Get to that console to discharge it.
Discharging.
You're just prolonging the inevitable here, idiots! No!
And
no!
she's down.
Our
Okay.
hold on this universe, it's slipping from our grasp! This is not the last
Alrighty
we've
then.
seen of us! We will return!
Not to cut the celebration short, but you better get out of there before the station is pulled back to my universe.
Run away while we can. The green looked wrong. Beaming up in a green haze rather
Nice
than
work.
red
After
looks
that
wrong for the
pasting you
Fek'Ihri.
gave Lita, she won't be bothering anyone for.
Alright, so that's going to do it for us. Again, next week we're going to be revisiting Disruptor builds. And as always, I will see you out there.
Live long and prosper, everybody. Now to find the ending.